Level 1. The bad dream. The one you forget. You're late for work. Again. You can't find your shoes, or you forgot to study for that exam. The big one, the one you knew about for weeks. Maybe someone you love looks at you and says they're disappointed. Ouch. These dreams are uncomfortable, sure, but they're not terrifying. Not yet. Here's the thing about a level 1 nightmare. It doesn't wake you up. You sleep right through it. You might feel a little weird when you open your eyes, a little uneasy, like something's off, but by the time you're brushing your teeth, it's already fading. Poof, gone. So what's happening inside your brain during level 1? You're in REM sleep. That's the deep stage where your eyes dart around under your eyelids. The most vivid dreams happen here. Your brain is doing something scientists call file compression. Think of it like cleaning out your phone. It sorts through the day's events, it throws away what doesn't matter, and keeps what does. Had an awkward conversation with a coworker, your mind might replay it with little distortions. Worried about rent? You might dream about losing your wallet. The main thing that defines level 1 is forgettability. By lunchtime, you won't even remember what the dream was about. Seriously, try to remember a bad dream from 2 weeks ago. You can't. That's level 1. Level 2. The classic nightmare. The one that wakes you up. Okay, now we're talking. This is what most people think of when they hear the word nightmare. You're being chased down dark hallways, through a forest, by something you can't quite see. Or you're falling from a building, an impossible height, your stomach drops. Someone or something is attacking you, and you can't fight back. Your arms feel like lead. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. Nothing, just air. Here's the difference. Your body reacts like the threat is real. Your heart races, you're sweating, your brain floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Those are the same chemicals released during actual danger, real danger, like a car almost hitting you. You jolt awake at 2 a.m., heart pounding, maybe you're gasping for air. It takes a few seconds to remember where you are, to convince yourself it wasn't real. You look around your bedroom, the same old dresser, the same window. You're safe. Classic nightmares happen during REM sleep, just like bad dreams, but there's a key difference. Your amygdala goes into overdrive. That's your brain's fear center. Your brain is basically running a simulation. It's asking itself, what if this happened? Could I survive it? It's rehearsing how you'd react to danger, kind of like a fire drill for your emotions. Unlike level 1, you remember a level 2 nightmare vividly. Days later, you can still recall the feeling of running, the sense of dread, the moment you woke up. Most people never go beyond level 2, but some do, and that's when things get strange. Like this video if you've ever woken up scared and couldn't fall back asleep. Level 3. The recurring nightmare. The one that comes back. Same hallway, same monster, same moment of terror. Night after night. Sometimes for weeks. Sometimes for years. This is level 3. The recurring nightmare. Your brain doesn't randomly replay the same dream for no reason. That's not how it works. When a nightmare recurs, it's because the fear behind it hasn't been resolved. There's something your subconscious is trying to work through, and it won't stop until you deal with it. Let me give you an example. Maybe you keep dreaming about drowning. That could be because you feel overwhelmed in your waking life, too many bills, too much responsibility. Or that dream about being trapped in a small room. That might mean you feel stuck in a job or a relationship you can't escape. The nightmare is a symbol. Your brain keeps showing it to you like a flashing warning light on a car dashboard. Something's wrong. Pay attention. Studies have shown that 1 out of every 2 adults has nightmares sometimes. That's normal, but between 2% and 8% of the adult population experience nightmares frequently, like several times a week. While occasional nightmares are generally harmless, frequent nightmares often reflect deeper problems: depression, anxiety, insomnia, sometimes alcohol use. Level 3 is when you start to fear going to sleep because you know what's waiting for you. You lie there in the dark and you think, not again, please, not again. And then you close your eyes and there it is, Same dream, same terror. Level 4. The lucid nightmare. The one where you're trapped inside your own head. This one is messed up. Really messed up. You realize you're dreaming. While you're inside the nightmare, you become conscious. In a normal lucid dream, this would be amazing. You'd take control, you'd fly away, you'd turn the monster into a butterfly or something. But in a lucid nightmare, awareness doesn't give you power, it traps you. The monster is still chasing you, the walls are still closing in. You're screaming at yourself to wake up, move your fingers, blink your eyes, anything to break free, but your body won't respond. You're conscious, but you can't move. It's like being locked in a glass box while something terrible gets closer. Here's what's happening in your brain. Your prefrontal cortex is active. That's the part responsible for self-awareness. You know you're dreaming, you're conscious, but the regions controlling motor function and voluntary action remain suppressed. You can think, you can analyze, you can even recognize how absurd the nightmare is, but you can't act, you can't wake up, you can't run. What makes this so terrifying is the loss of the one thing lucid dreaming promises: control. You have all the awareness of being awake, but none of the control. Some people report that lucid nightmares feel longer than regular nightmares. Time gets weird. What might be 30 seconds in real time can feel like hours, hours trapped in that conscious state of terror. I've talked to people who had a level 4 nightmare once and they never forgot it, ever. It stays with you. Subscribe right here if you've ever felt trapped in a dream and couldn't wake up, because level 5 is where your body takes over, and trust me, you don't want to miss that. Level 5. Night terrors. The one where your body takes over. This is where the nightmare escapes your mind and enters the physical world, for real. Night terrors are different from nightmares. I need you to understand that. You're not just dreaming anymore. You're acting out the dream while still completely asleep. You might sit up in bed, your eyes wide open, but you're seeing nothing. You're not awake. You might scream, run across the room. I've heard stories of people jumping out of second-story windows during a night terror. Your heart rate spikes to dangerous levels, sometimes over 160 beats per minute. You're drenched in sweat, gasping for air, fighting an enemy that doesn't exist outside your mind. And here's the really disturbing part. You won't remember any of it. Not a single second. Night terrors don't happen during REM sleep like normal nightmares. They happen during deep, non-REM sleep, stage 3 or 4, the deepest part of your sleep cycle. Your body isn't paralyzed the way it is during REM, so you can move. And you do. Your brain is stuck between sleeping and waking. The parts responsible for fear and motor function are active, but the parts that create memories and rational thinking are not. You're running on pure, primal panic, no conscious awareness at all. Studies show that night terrors are most common in children, but about 2% of adults experience them regularly. They're often triggered by sleep deprivation, stress, fever, or certain medications. So here's the weird thing about level 5. Other people remember it more than you do. Your partner remembers you screaming and running into the wall. You wake up confused on the floor or in a different room. You have no idea how you got there, but the terror itself is already gone. It evaporated. You just feel confused and tired. Level 6. Sleep paralysis. The one where you're awake, but you can't move. This is the one that really blurs the line. Nightmares become something else entirely. You wake up, or at least you think you do. You're lying in bed, fully conscious. Your eyes are open. You can see your room, the same ceiling, the same curtains. You know where you are, but you can't move. Not your arms, not your legs, not even your fingers. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. Your body has betrayed you completely. And then you realize you're not alone. There's a presence in the room. You can feel it. Sometimes you can see it. A shadow figure standing in the corner, a dark shape sitting on your chest, a face hovering inches from yours. The pressure on your chest makes it hard to breathe. Your heart is pounding, but you're frozen, completely unable to defend yourself. This is sleep paralysis. It happens when your brain wakes up before your body does. Remember how during REM sleep your muscles are temporarily paralyzed so you don't act out your dreams? That's normal. But sometimes that paralysis lingers after you regain consciousness. You're awake, you're aware, but you're still trapped in your body's sleep state. Studies show that up to 40% of people will experience sleep paralysis at least once in their lifetime. The hallucinations that come with it, the shadow figures, the sense of presence, the feeling of being watched, that happens because your brain is trying to explain why you can't move. It creates a threat to match your terror. It turns the paralysis itself into a predator. In level 6, you're not dreaming anymore. This is happening in your actual bedroom, in real time, while you're conscious. The line between nightmare and reality has dissolved completely. Some cultures have given names to these entities. The sleep paralysis demons have haunted humanity for centuries. We've always known about this. When it finally ends, when you can finally move, the figure disappears, but the feeling stays. That's level 6. Level 7. Trauma nightmare. The one that really happened. This is the hardest one to talk about. You're back in the car during the accident, back in the moment you got the news, back in the place where everything changed. Every detail is exact. The sounds, the smells, the crushing weight of what happened. Your brain is replaying reality with perfect, merciless accuracy. Trauma nightmares are the hallmark of post-traumatic stress disorder. Studies show that 50 to 70% of people with PTSD experience recurring nightmares that replay their traumatic events. Unlike other nightmares, these don't happen exclusively during REM sleep. They can intrude during any stage. They break through whenever your guard is down, when you're trying to rest, when you're finally feeling safe. What makes level 7 different from every other level is that you can't dismiss it when you wake up. You can't tell yourself it was just a dream, because it wasn't. It happened. The nightmare is just your mind refusing to let you forget, and your body remembers too. The same physiological response you had during the actual trauma comes back. Elevated heart rate, cortisol flooding your system, the freeze response, all of it. You're not just remembering the event, you're re-experiencing it at a neurological level. Your brain doesn't know the difference between memory and current danger, so it reacts the same way. Some people with trauma nightmares stop sleeping altogether. They'll fight sleep for days. They'll drink coffee at midnight. They'll do anything to stay awake because they know what's waiting for them. The same dream, the same accident, the same loss, over and over and over again. This is level 7, and it's not something you can just think your way out of. It requires real help. Therapy, sometimes medication, but the first step is just knowing that you're not broken. Your brain is trying to protect you. It's just doing a really bad job of it. So that's every level, from the bad dream you forget by lunchtime to the trauma nightmare that lives inside you forever. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Don't ignore the levels that scare you. Pay attention to what your brain is trying to tell you. And if you're stuck in level 3 or 4 or 7, talk to someone. You don't have to fight these nightmares alone. Thanks for listening. Sleep well. Or try to.